He's gone. Donovan Mitchell will be leaving the Cleveland Cavaliers this summer after he does not sign an extension unless one thing happens, and that will not be the case. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into the videos we always do. But guys, I promise we're going to finish with the Donovan Mitchell talk after this, but it just came out that Donovan Mitchell will decline a contract extension and look elsewhere unless the Cavs made the finals. Now, as we know, according to Kevin Garnett, anything is possible, but he also said after that, in a whisper, unless the Cleveland Cavaliers in 2024 are trying to make the NBA Finals, that ain't possible. Because it's not. The Cavs can't make the NBA Finals this year. They're not good enough. Donovan Mitchell is the one true shot creator on that team. They have zero offense between Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. There's not enough court spacing. The bench is not good enough. The Cavs are just not good enough. And it's really telling that they played their best basketball when both Evan Mobley and Darius Garland, they're two young players who were supposed to become the number 2 and 3, or really number 1 and 3rd best players on that team with Donovan Mitchell, have not really developed that far. Garland, yes, he is an all-star, but it's been a few years now, and he hasn't really developed past that guy who he was that season. And it is now getting worrisome because he's now been in the NBA for 5 or so years. You're no longer some young guy in the NBA. I mean, you are young, but you're not some rookie in the NBA anymore. You're not like this up-and-comer. You're just a younger guy in the NBA, and teams are kind of waiting to see, especially the Cavs, if you can get to that next level. But look, according to Eric Pincus of Bleacher Report, the latest buzz around the NBA circles that there are two different pictures regarding Donovan Mitchell's future as a member of the Cleveland Cavaliers organization. One of them is that they make the NBA Finals, or maybe even just the conference finals and get close, probably not happening either. Or they don't, and they lose early in the playoffs again, which is my pick because I don't think the Cavs are very good. I think they're one of those teams that's just a complete regular season team. They don't have enough court spacing to get that far in the playoffs. The team does not respond well to physicality, as we saw last year with the New York Knicks when they beat the hell out of the Cavs. So I think what's going to happen is the Cavs are going to lose in the first or the second round. Right now, they're slated to play the Indiana Pacers. The Pacers have had one of the worst defenses in NBA history, which does make me wary about having any faith in them. No bad defensive team gets that far in the playoffs ever. So yeah, the Cavs have a good chance against the Pacers, but also the Pacers could easily win that series. They have court spacing. The offense is good. The Cavs don't really have a guy to guard Tyrese Halliburton. Evan Mobley's gonna have to get drawn out of the paint to guard Miles Turner or Pascal Siakam. That Pacers team is good. I could easily see them winning, or I could see the Knicks falling down to the 6th seed, and even without Julius Randle for the rest of the year, OG Anunoby is expected to come back. He's doing contact. He's doing all of that, so I do genuinely think that the Knicks would still beat the Cavs, because it's not like Julius had some legendary playoff series against the Cavs where he carried the Knicks to the win. He didn't. He played badly. He had an injured ankle. So, the Knicks could still easily put a beat down on the Cleveland Cavaliers if they meet in the playoffs again. The Knicks could also take that 3 seed, watch as the Cavs play the Magic in the first round, and the Magic will probably win that series due to their defense. Also, the Knicks and the Cavs could end up playing each other as a 4-5 once again if the Magic jump the Cavs. Who knows what's going to happen right now, but what we do know is that Donovan Mitchell and the Cleveland Cavaliers are not going to the NBA Finals this year, so that means that Donovan is going to request a trade. The buzz in NBA circles suggests that barring a run to the NBA Finals, Donovan Mitchell will decline an extension and look elsewhere, and the Cavaliers are more likely than not to move him well before he can outright leave as a free agent, according to Eric Pincus. Now, that's the thing here. Donovan Mitchell will leave unless the Cavs make the NBA Finals this year, not next year. Because this year, Donovan has to go back to the Cavs regardless. He's still under contract. He doesn't have that player option. He can't opt out and go running for the hills. But next season he can. So the Cavs, yeah, they can keep him around once they lose in the first or second round this year. And maybe try to get to the NBA Finals again and hold on some hope that Donovan Mitchell actually likes being in Ohio. But he is from New York, so I highly doubt that's the case, as no one from New York likes Ohio. If LeBron James even said that Ohio's not that great, he doesn't like it. So, and that's why he left twice. He did win you all championship, though, and that was awesome. I was rooting heavily for the Cavs back then, but I just root for LeBron. But look, I just don't at all think that the Cavs are going to hit this benchmark where they're going to be able to keep Donovan around. And that being the case, the Knicks are going to come knocking. We know one thing about the Knicks. They love Donovan Mitchell as a prospect. They would love to have him on the team. And the Knicks do still need more shot creation. I understand that Donovan is not the best fit for the Knicks, but I don't think he could get away with just not playing defense on the Knicks. I think Tom Thibodeau would force him to become a good defender. Donovan has all the tools to do so, which I've talked about countlessly in the past. Between his high basketball IQ, his elite athleticism, his 6'10" wingspan, Donovan can become a good defender, and he wouldn't have to be the lead defender between Isaiah Hartenstein / Mitchell Robinson. We actually have a Hartenstein video coming out in a few hours. Stay tuned. Julius Randle, when he wants to play good defense. OG Anunoby, who's one of the best on-ball defenders in the NBA. Maybe the second or third best. He's not the best. I'm still giving it to Jaden McDaniels, and then Herb Jones and OG are right there. There's also a few other names you could throw in there. I mean, even Kawhi at points. But, we know that Donovan probably has the capability to be a good defender. He was a great defender at Louisville, so why can't he be one here? Especially if Tibbs can force him. It's not like he's ever had a coach force him to play good defense. Quinn Snyder's whole defensive scheme for the Utah Jazz was funnel everyone into Rudy Gobert. He's the best defender in the NBA. And then the other one was J.B. Bickerstaff, who's just not that good of a coach, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not trying to shade the guy. I've just never seen the guy coach a team that's went that far in the playoffs. Those Grizzlies teams didn't do too well. Obviously, he took over mid-season for Kevin McHale in Houston, but they didn't do great with J.B. as their head coach. He took over mid-season for the Cavs after that college coach from Michigan, I believe, who coached, 40 games, and they sucked. And then they got better under Bickerstaff, so they kept him around, despite the fact that this is a completely different team now outside of Garland. But look, what we're seeing now is Donovan Mitchell is pressing the Cavs to either get better somehow, whether that's trading someone so they could actually be a real contender next season, or this season they make a miracle run. And if they don't, and Donovan tells them, hey, I'm not signing an extension, and I will opt out, and I will leave in free agency, are the Cavs really going to bet on themselves and risk losing it all? If they lose it all, and by lose it all, I mean Donovan Mitchell and all their draft picks that they gave Utah for, not only does that really make Larry Markkanen's value high, and the Cavs be like, well, we screwed up, but because the Jazz would obviously move him so they could fully rebuild. But also, it just kind of changes, everything for the Knicks, because the Knicks can just go in there and throw 8 firsts at them, and they're not going to, but they would throw 5 or 6, depending on protections, and then go out there and just grab Donovan, and then probably be able to figure it out, because Tibbs knows how to coach defense, and he would definitely develop Donovan well. And the buzz in NBA circles, as we've said, Mitchell will decline an extension and look elsewhere. It's not he might, it's that he will, and the Cavs are more likely to move him than not before he can leave outright as a free agent. So that means one thing. It means that if the Cavs are between a rock and a hard place with Donovan Mitchell, they're going to trade him and try to get some value back for him. And it's not going to be the same what they gave up, which is hilarious. But also, this means the Knicks could get him for a cheaper price than what they thought they could with Utah, which would be great for them. I mean, I would love to see Donovan Mitchell on the Knicks for the right price. I do think it'd be weird. I think he wouldn't love to be second fiddle to Jalen Brunson, but also he might not hate it. One of Donovan's big reasons for leaving the Utah Jazz was the amount he had to hold the ball and do everything on offense. He probably doesn't want to do that anymore. And Joe Ingles has literally gone on record to say, yeah, I bet Donovan would love to play in New York. If I could play in Melbourne, Australia for the same amount of money, I would. So it's one of those situations where the Knicks are probably where Donovan is looking the most. And if you could add a player of Donovan's caliber, I think you do it and you ask questions later. The Knicks can figure this out. They'd trade Bogdanovich. They'd probably end up having to move one of Mitch or Hartenstein. And again, I'm going to talk about that in a few hours. But really what we're looking at is a situation where the Knicks can land Donovan Mitchell for a cheaper price than they ever have before. And that is massive news. Guys, I've asked the question so many times, do you want Donovan Mitchell? Give me your trade proposals in the comments below. And I swear, guys, I don't know if you guys hear those sirens outside my window, but I swear I'm going to send them after you if you keep putting Julius Randle in those trades. The Cavs don't want Julius Randle. They don't. They have 2 big men. They don't want him. And he's not getting traded off the Knicks anyway. It's like that Nick Saban meme where it's like, I'm not going to do it, so quit asking. which is kind of how you guys are when I'm like, yo, give me a trade proposal. And there's like 3 people in the comments who are like, trade Julius for nothing. He sucks. But guys, let me know down below. Have a great day. I promise this is it on Donovan Mitchell talk for a while. The next time that we talk about Donovan Mitchell is if there's real big, massive Donovan Mitchell wants to go to the Knicks, has requested a trade to the Knicks news. Have a great day and go Knicks.